The best part about being Friday is that everyone looks forward to you showing up. People say stuff like, I can't wait for Friday. Thank God it's Friday. It's nice to be like,
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I knock that over? I'm sorry. That was on me. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna pick that up. Oh, that looks expensive. Oh, is it broken? Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm sorry, Friday. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Hello and welcome to Watchin' Stuff, the show about watching stuff. I'm Nero, and with me is my Canadian counterpart, whyboy. And today, God, what the f***? And today today's actually like a super duper chocolatey special episode because unlike past episodes, we've basically had to shoot, you know, completely at random on what to discuss and what to review and what to look at, because basically people aren't commenting to tell us what to look at, what to review, or what we could be looking at. But luckily, through sheer somehow the moon turned blue and the stars aligned and the luck of the Irish was shining down upon us, we managed to find an animator who contacted us and wants us to take a look at their cartoon show. Now, before anyone throws any accusations around, I want to be abundantly clear, we are not getting paid to do this. Lord knows we would take money at first chance we got, because Lord knows we need it.
Yeah.
But we are not getting paid to do this.
Yeah, basically the head of the project, JT, saw Near's review of Castlevania, liked what he saw there, and just basically recommended us to watch his new series, The Weeklings.
Hit the card above my head, by the way, or in the link description alone to check out that Castlevania video. I'm really actually quite proud of it, and it happened remarkably fast.
Yeah, definitely. A 3-over turnover period is very fast for us.
Yeah, it really is. Especially because, like, that thing came out maybe like a week ago and we just were like, oh, Jesus. And I was like, oh, man, I gotta talk about this and how good it is to actually have a show based on a video game that doesn't suck butt.
Yeah, exactly.
So you guys are probably wondering now, you two weirdos who have this podcast, what is The Weeklings? You know, what's this new cartoon that you're bragging about? Well, it is a show that revolves around days. Each character is a day. We go from Sunday to Saturday. So we have the main characters are 7 different characters. And we will also have different characters that represent holidays that make appearances sporadically as well.
And just, long story short for me, I really like where they're going with this.
I'm surprised. It's not that I was expecting it to be bad or anything. It wasn't that. But the fact is, when it comes to animation's a very slippery slope. And you could attest to that, being that you've reviewed so many like animated projects. That when it comes to animation, there's so many potential pitfalls you could run into. You could run into the fact that if it's CG and you don't have budget, it will look like grade A garbage, like Bunyan and Babe. And yes, we will discuss Bunyan and Babe, don't you worry. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I swear it on the 7 gods of chaos, we'll get to that.
And a few other movies as well.
And a few other movies as well. But then on top of that, it's going to be digitally animated. Now, the concern with that is, well, if you're not a big company, you know, it can look just a bit choppy.
Yeah, definitely. This is definitely very sort of strict Flash animation, and there is sort of a little bit of choppiness to it to some of the movements. But with what they had as a budget and such, it's actually pretty nice animation. All the characters look very nice. Like, the colors pop everywhere. And I like the designs for a lot of the characters in this.
I think that we've only watched the first one, and we'll get into like what the first one's about, but what I could take away is that since it's their first season, this is going to be that situation where things might be a little bit choppy waters at first, but I think when it progresses forward, it will eventually actually get a lot better. It will get cleaner. It will get much more fluid animation as it goes, because, you know, basically they have to kind of get the cycle down of how these characters are going to move and react, but then when you get it down, it'll look better as it goes.
Yeah, sort of the flow of everything. Like, yeah. That's even the same for a lot of TV shows. Like, their first episodes are usually the ones that basically feature the most limited animation, the most stiff sort of characterization of just anything in their whole show, and it just sort of progresses from there on. If
you ever, like, watch the pilot for Megas XLR Lowbrow, Coop looks vaguely different, because he's got, like, dots for eyes in that, but when they went to the actual Megas XLR, you know, fully funded show, it was, he actually had normal eyes with, like, the white behind them and such to make it pop a little bit more.
Yeah, so there is definitely room for evolution in a sense.
Yeah, well, like all cartoons, I would dare argue all cartoons have potential. Whether they tap into it or not is left up to the creative team. I mean, you have something like Gravity Falls, which was like, it looks kind of weird, but turned out to be really good. And then you have something like Giant Test, which is basically someone said, I wish we invented Dexter's Lab.
Well, how about we just ruin Dexter's Lab instead?
Don't worry.
That's almost similar.
Don't worry. They eventually did that too. So I guess it all panned out.
Oh, yeah.
But this is...
Now we're talking about, like, online animation.
Yeah.
And online animation for us is, like, a big haven or everything.
It's
like,
a very wide ocean.
Series.
It's a very big ocean of, like, you could catch, like, some really nice fish, or you could catch some, like, really weird ones that you wonder why.
Yeah, I've talked about a few online animated series on this show, like Super Mario Bros. Z and also Tome as well. And like there are just so many shows out there that really experiment with a lot of different animation stuff, different narrative structures and everything. And now with the Weeklings, it's really one of the first ones that I've seen that takes sort of the 11-minute comedy format style. And just sort of like a traditional sort of like Teletoon cartoon sort of thing. If you're in Canada and you know what Teletoon is.
Yeah, we had a bunch of Saturday morning stuff out here. We had like Foxbox, Fox Kids. I think there was another one called like Toonzai or some hunk of crap. But like Saturday morning cartoons. It feels like that. It feels like going back to like a traditional Saturday morning cartoon. Like if you ever saw maybe like Recess.
Yeah.
Something kind of like that, where it's like it's got that 11-minute format, and in those 11 minutes, there's going to be like a small kind of comedic adventure.
Yeah, and the parallels actually work a lot better because it's this sort of the team format where either one or two members of the team are the main focus of each episode.
Yeah, and I like that because with 7 characters, this goes back to even like my belief when it came to like the Justice League for DC Comics is I always felt 7 characters was too much. And you ran the risk of underdeveloping a lot by focusing on anyone else. And usually probably the big 2 they'd focus on is probably, well, most definitely going to be Batman. And then probably Superman, because he still sells more than anyone else on that team, besides Batman. I mean, who outsells him?
Yeah, and like we said, we have the 7-member group in the Weeklings right here. We have Sunday, who's sort of the doting mother of the group, sort of like the
Southern...
the Sunday good mother. Going off to church and all that sort of stuff. We have Monday, who's just sort of the kooky one.
She's Mabel.
Yeah.
Mabel. Which is becoming a very, very popular trope in recent animation after Gravity Falls.
Because that is sort of a fun character to do.
Because they're also doing her on DuckTales. Mabel's is now Webigail.
Whether that'll be a benefit or a detraction, we'll have to see the actual show for that to find out.
The point of having a Mabel on your team, though, is that she needs to just be funny.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like the bad Mabel on the Loud House. I'm the comedian. Why aren't you funny?
Yeah.
Oh!
Okay, next we got Tuesday, the studious one of the group.
You could tell because he's got glasses. Like a nerd.
Nerd.
What were we watching where we said, like, she's a nerd because she has glasses?
Bunyan and Babe.
It was Bunyan and Babe.
Yeah.
Sit there. How do you know she's a nerd? She's got glasses on.
How do you know this guy's a nerd? He's got glasses on too. But we didn't really see much to do with Tuesday, so it's not really fair to just say he's all nerd.
I know.
Future episode.
I know he runs a business. He runs a taco truck called Taco Tuesday.
I love that.
I saw that. I'm like, man. I want some tacos in the worst way, but the only taco joint that does Taco Tuesday is really out of reach, and Arizona heat is not worth it for a taco.
I just like the idea of a business just called Taco Tuesday, to just drive around just whenever.
Yeah, who doesn't like a good taco?
Yeah, exactly.
Really.
Okay, next on the list is Wednesday, the hump of the week. Who's personified as a big, blue, very timid one?
She's an introvert. She's like Fluttershy.
Yeah, it's a Fluttershy of the group. And definitely she has sort of a softness to it that I sort of gravitate towards, and I think that she'll be good in future episodes.
She was hilarious in the pilot. That one joke with the tree is very funny to me.
Yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah. And then we got Thursday. the dude hipster guy.
I fully don't know what to say about Thursday. It's not even that he was bad in the pilot, but it's like, I could pinpoint every other character.
Yeah, it's hard to picture the visualization of what Thursday's supposed to be. Like, the best way that I could sort of describe it is just sort of like, it's sort of like the end of the week, and you're getting like very tired, very lax at the end of it. So it's like, I'm waiting for Friday to come along. So why not I just goof off with video games and such?
My concern, my general 100% concern, I hope he doesn't turn out to be the Rigby.
Oh yeah, that would not be good.
It feels like we don't know yet because we only had 11 minutes and he wasn't in the full 11 minutes. But my concern is that he's going to dip his foot into like the Rigby pool, and it's going to get to that point where it's like, I just want to hold him down under the pool till the bubbles stop coming up. Because I haven't met a single person that can stand Rigby.
Yeah, no, I can't stand Rigby. Although I feel a bit more optimistic for Thursday. He doesn't really seem like the Rigby of the group. He sort of seems more like the butt monkey of it.
Rigby was a butt monkey.
Well, butt monkey in sort of the nicer sense, where he's just sort of the straight man of everybody, oddly enough. Where everyone else is kooky and he's just sort of like, hey guys, what's going on? It's like, oh, no one really cares about Thursdays.
That's true. They're like that day. because you're just keeping me from the coolest day of them all. Friday.
And Friday is just the coolest dude around.
He's a jock. But he doesn't feel like an asshole jock. That's the thing that gets me. It's like, oh, you didn't go with the douche-like version. You went for like the cool jock that's like friends with everybody.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the best characterizations that I've seen. Like, it could have been so easy to just do just the self-centered jock character.
I actually like the fact too they went the opposite. He's actually like very humble.
Yeah, like he doesn't boast or anything. He's just a cool guy.
He's just Friday. He's just a cool day like any other day.
Yeah, and that makes you like Friday. And then we got Saturday, another sort of energetic character, just sort of like Monday, but she's sort of more energetic in that. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe her.
I said she was more like Lynn from Loud House. She's like the sporty one.
Yeah, the sporty extrovert.
Yeah, like, she's... The way they describe her is that she's going to be like the popular girl in school. So she's like the popular girl, but she's like friends with everybody.
Yeah.
So it's strange, because when I was growing up, popular girls were a bunch of... they were a bunch of mean-spirited individuals when I was growing up.
We'll bleep that out of the actual episode.
That's okay.
But yeah, I can see that, and that just sort of brings me to sort of worries. Just like, is that a little bit too close to just a mixture of Monday and Friday into the Saturday?
Yeah, but no, actually, I don't have a follow up to that. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, it is a little bit of a double. But like again, 7 characters. Like again, the major rule of mostly doing a team is a rule of 5: brains, brawn, leader, lancer, and then usually the chick, the kid, or the pet.
Yeah.
So there's bound to be overlap.
Yeah. So I'm not even going into the episode. Like, our main concern with the Weeklings is that we're worried that some of the characters might overlap personality-wise with each other. We want to see these characters sort of like clash in a sense, but not clash in just like actual fighting, obviously. A narrative clashing, joke clashing.
I think it wouldn't have hurt if maybe they had an aggressor on the team.
Yeah.
He didn't need to be like a full, he didn't need to be like psychopathic like Dan from Dan Versus, but it probably wouldn't have helped, it probably wouldn't have hurt to have a grump.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely hard when you're trying to make all day sort of a positive spin on everything. Like, what could have happened would have been Monday. Because nobody likes Monday, as Garfield says.
Yeah, he's great. He had 2 live-action films with Bill Murray in the lead.
Ooh.
That was a thing, yeah.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Oh, God, sorry, I got a little Garfield in my throat. I'm excited to see where this goes. The pilot was pretty good. The basic setup is that we have an episode that is... I think maybe what we're going to get from this show is maybe a moral of the week kind of concept, where the idea is that each episode will have some kind of moral that will be taught to the younger viewers of the audience. And the idea with this episode is that Monday tries to overexert herself into getting noticed. She puts on a talent show, and she's really excited to do it, and her friends are happy to be there with her, and she invites a bunch of the other days to show up as well. And event, you know, people see her and they're like, oh, she's too weird for us.
She's too weird for us, so they all just leave. And then Monday's just like, oh man, I really need to be cool to like get everybody to like me again. And so who does she go to for advice? Well, the coolest dude around, Friday, of course.
Sure as hell ain't gonna be Thursday.
Yeah, who? No, Thursday, get out of here.
No one likes you, Thursday. No one likes you. You're just keeping us from Friday, you jackass.
So Friday is more than willing enough to help Monday along, and so Monday becomes the coolest cat around by also being weird.
Yeah, well, I like the fact that, like, you know, the moral is, you know, something we've all seen in kids shows. Be yourself. You shouldn't try to act differently just to get people to like you, because if you want real friends, they're going to like you for who you are as a person. They shouldn't have to like you for something you do or something you have.
Of course, and I like that. And I like sort of the character dynamic between Monday and Friday, because that moral seemed very genuine from the two. Because Friday wasn't really trying to change Monday in any way.
No, he was just saying, like, this is how I do it, you know? Like, I chill. I don't overexert myself in any way. I don't really try to get people to like me. I just do me, and it works.
Yeah, so you can do what I do, and we'll see how it works. And he changed his plan at times to basically help Monday along. Even go to the point where he let Monday drive his car.
I gotta say, too, this is like one of the animation things. That car did kind of look like crap.
Yeah,
it could have used refining a bit.
It really stood out. It didn't feel like the line work was complete on it, so it just really stood out from everything else.
Yeah, it could have used a bit of touch up, but otherwise, though, it still, you know, it still looked like a car and it still ran just fine.
Yeah, of course.
It could have just used a bit of tightening up in the outlining, and that was actually something too. We wanted to talk about the artistic. Overall look of it. I told you this reminded me of, what was it, the Mr. Men show?
Yeah, the Mr. Men show.
Where it's like every character is a shape and a color?
Yeah, but this one's more like the visualization of each day, which I felt like that was my favorite part of this show. The visualization factor of this is just so great. Like, we get to see all the days around, and they're just shown in like such wonderful ways. Like Thanksgiving is just shown just like a little turkey with a little pilgrim hat on. We have Labor Day, just like this girl in a white dress.
That was funny to catch, actually, because, like, we sat there and you see, like, the group shot, and I had said to you, so, Labor Day? And then she gets hit with the ice cream, sorry, Labor Day, because no white.
Yeah, and it's just, yeah, and that sort of visualization of just the whole show in its entirety is just brilliant about it. Even with Sunday through Saturday, their visualizations make a lot of sense, even though we have some criticism for a few of them. I really love this idea of just more, like, visual storytelling. Like, you know what each one of them's about, even by just their names.
Yeah, I actually, like, that's the thing, like, Sunday, I totally get the whole, like, doting kind of mom angle. She's got, like, the Sunday dress. She's got, like, the hair, like, pushed back with the band. It works. Monday being quirky. I don't know what the hell she's wearing, but it certainly isn't average, so it fits the personality of being overly quirky. I'm surprised they didn't just put her in a sweater with a bunch of blinking lights like Mabel Pines. Kudos. But they did give her the gap tooth.
Yeah.
Which does make her unique. Tuesday was the one I think that was so funny, because when we looked at the original art designs from them from their website, weeklingscartoon.com, we had said, like, wow, that's like a within a lawsuit shot of looking a lot like Anger.
Yeah, you
from Inside Out.
I pointed this like, isn't that just Anger?
Yeah,
that's a good idea that you changed that.
That was a good thing, you know. It was in like, you know, lawsuit territory, really. And honestly, good thing you guys changed that, because I wouldn't have put it past Disney to sue you guys, because they are very lawsuit happy over there, that company, for some reason.
Yeah, Wednesday was the one that you were having a little bit more trouble, right?
My concern is, why doesn't she wear clothes? Everyone else on the team has an outfit of some kind. It wouldn't have hurt if she maybe just had, like, I don't know, a shirt and shorts, or maybe another dress.
Yeah, I guess more, this is just sort of almost the detriment of just going so visual happy with everything.
She's bland because Wednesday is, in fact, a very bland day.
Yeah, just like the hump of the week.
Yeah, you just...
a big, bulky thing.
Yeah, it's the day you just want to get over and be like, oh, after this crap is done, I can move on to Thursday, and then after that's done, I can move on to Friday, and then I'm happy again.
Yeah, exactly. And I sort of like Wednesday for that, because she is such a literal representation of that. But at the same time, it just sort of makes her design a little bit sort of transparent in a sense.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a little bit more to the illustration, just because, like, everybody has, like, an outfit that you associate with them, because you have, like, the jock look for Friday, you have the dress and the skirt for Saturday, you know, the little business suit for Tuesday, but then you get to, like, Wednesday and nothing. Not even, like, maybe a bow on her head or something cute and humble.
Yeah, just something to really show sort of a little representation of just being the hump of the week, rather than just, I'm bulky.
Yeah. Thursday, you know, he looks like a gamer. Backwards hat, t-shirt, slacks. Yeah. You know, just, yeah, again. That's like, this could go anyway. This could be like a really cool character that we can relate to as gamers, or it could be the Rigby. Creators, I repeat, do not go the Rigby route. People hate Rigby. A lot.
Yeah, they do.
Oh. Friday, I'm just a little bit upset with, because, like, they went for the jock angle, so he's a little bit more broad shoulder, narrow waist. My thing was, I actually liked it when he looked fat in the original art, because it just seemed like, I am who I am, I'm happy who I am, I don't care what other people think, and I dug that perspective, but I don't mind that they went the opposite route, where it's like, well, we want different body shapes, and since Wednesday is, you know, a big person, we wanted a character that looks a bit more muscular than the rest of the cast, because we don't have anyone that's representing a muscular, like, build type, so it made sense for him to be that kind of build.
Yeah, it definitely leads to more of a spectrum of body designs for everything, which I feel definitely helps the show a lot, and just sort of individualizing each character.
I feel like if this show does the silhouette test, it's very easy to tell apart who is what character very easily by silhouette.
Yeah. And
that to me has always been an important aspect of cartoons, that you can look at a list of characters, their silhouettes, and you can guess who it is. You know, it's a perfect example is if you ever remember Who's That Pokemon? You know, that was a proof positive thing of, like, how do you know which Pokemon is, like, how good is the Pokemon design if you can guess what Pokemon it is? And there was 150 when we were when I was growing up as a kid, because I'm older than you.
You won't be able to do that nowadays.
Yeah, I know there's like 500 some bullshit version. I don't freaking know.
Many more than that.
There's too damn many more. And then you have, like, Saturday. Saturday is the only one I have a major grievance with, and yeah. I know the creator's gonna be like, man, this douchebag. Hear me out.
Sure, they're nice.
Just hear me out. I hate that she has a nose.
You would get so hung up on her nose.
I know, but it's weird. There's 6 other characters. They don't have a nose, and then it's just like, oh, look at. Hey, what's up? Got a little thing going on over there. What's that about? You know, can you wipe it off, please? It's not even horrible, because it's like, oh, I can overlook it because it really is not that big of a deal. It's not like the Sonic Eye thing where it's legit like every time they try to do an expression with this character, it's really weird and off-putting because like half the face looks like he's stroked out to do an expression with his brows. The only other like minor hang-up I had, and this was the artistic thing from the animation, was I think some of your guys' line work needs a bit of tweaking. I think in terms of the weight of your lines, you need to keep the weight consistent.
Yeah. Because
one of the things is, like, I'm looking at your guys' artwork on your website, and the line work looks very solid, actually. It's nice and thick and bold, and it works really well. And the thinner line art is laid out into interior stuff. But in the animated pilot, when we were watching it, Wednesday's poof of hair was thin lines, but she had a thicker outline, and it just looked really off, like it didn't mesh.
Yeah, and that's not the only example of it. Throughout the pilot, there was an instance of thin line work than much more thicker line work, and it just wasn't a sort of a consistent nature to that at all.
Yeah, and that was just a minor thing, but hopefully, you guys will continue, and the show will grow, and you guys will have the opportunity to allow it to shift your art style slightly and refine it. That's all we're saying. Yeah. Just refine it.
Yeah, because if we're going to go directly through our final ratings and all, I think we can both agree that this is just still a must-see show.
Yeah, I concur. I'm surprised because I've never been against the 11-minute setup for an animated show. My thing is, I've always been driven more towards wanting to watch a show with a narrative than a show that's just a comedy. Obviously, you have your exceptions to the rule. Star Versus, Steven Universe, regular show, Adventure Time.
And the funny thing with all those that you listed, don't all those shows actually have narratives to them in a sense?
They slowly become it, because, like, Steven Universe, it started off like, oh, it's goofy adventures, and then it's like, yes, but it's also about racism, and, like, transgender, and sexuality, and depression, and responsibility, and you're like, what the Yeah, I would definitely say this is a must-see. I don't think anyone should skip it. Matter of fact, it's coming out today. Like, okay, right now we're recording it clearly early because we have to prep things ahead of time.
Don't ruin the magic, Nero. Don't ruin the magic.
There is no magic. We're about as magic as the asshole from Oz. Now shut up, you flying monkey. Like, yeah. On August 1st, so that's the day this is coming out. You guys should definitely go check it out. Link will be in the description below. Click above our head as well. You should check out the Weeklings. If there's any other major thing I could bring up is, whyboy, you wanted me to bring this up. I did do a redesign of the logo just for giggles. Because, I don't want to harp on your guys' logo, but I'm an award-winning graphic design major. And damn it, I have to take some sense of pride in that because no one in my house is happy that I actually won an award for my graphic design work. I actually went with refrigerator magnets, those, weekday refrigerator magnet look.
Yeah, and I think that's actually pretty creative, seeing as how it is about the weekdays, after all.
Yeah, I didn't even hate their logo, it just felt unrefined to me. I've never been a fan of that wiggle art style. I was the same way on Ed, and Eddie for the longest time, until they switched Ed and Eddie to the digital way of doing the episodes, and then it was clean, and I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. But we got online animation to basically cleanse our palate of this with the Weeklings, and hopefully with the Weeklings coming out, this can promote other people to push forward their shows as well.
I hope other people will step up because I know Gritty Sugar is an amazing animator. We've worked with her before. It would be great if she did something. For the craziest time now, I'm surprised there isn't an animated show about Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. Given all the animated fan art we see of them constantly, it's like, why haven't those two teamed up and just said, let's just make an animated show? That maybe have Danny pop in from Ninja Sex Party.
That would be fun. Well, I do know Jim Sterling's getting his own sort of animated thing, even though it's sort of like a video podcast animated thing.
Oh, that's cool. I would dig seeing that. The only other criticism I have, and this is just from guys watching out for you to creatives. Careful with that title because there actually is a band called the Weeklings. So, and it's spelled the exact same way.
Yeah, that was a cringy thing that we realized, ooh.
Yeah, and that was the same thing that happened when we did our other review of Buccaneer. Click the card above my head and the link in the description below if you guys want to check out that podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the thing too. Buccaneer was another one. That was a title that existed. And we understand there are always going to be overlaps in titles. We're just warning you for precaution because people are lawsuit happy to make money.
Well, maybe not too lawsuit happy, but it's just a nice precaution just to keep that in mind.
I think if Jim Sterling taught us anything, there are plenty of assholes who are lawsuit happy. just saying.
Yeah, I know, but I just don't want him to just be spooked at every sort of corner. It's like, oh, a lawsuit.
Yeah, don't be too paranoid or anything, but just be cautious, know what you're doing.